Hi everybody on YouTube, it's Christy and I'm here with my week 23 post-op update for vertical sleeve. I've had a really rough couple of weeks. I know I mentioned in my last video that I've been sort of in a plateau for I think about 3 weeks, and fear has been my biggest problem. And I think I talked about how I was going to be starting to track my food using a program online and kind of report back about how that went. So I did try out both Spark People and Daily Burn. I ended up really liking Daily Burn the best for my needs. I blogged about that if you're interested in checking it out. And I think that the website itself is absolutely fantastic, and for anyone wanting to track their food and workouts, it's awesome. I was really actually enjoying tracking my food on there, and I felt really good about doing it because I've always kind of sucked at tracking my food. That's never been really easy for me. And the first couple days I was making good observations about this pie chart that shows fat, protein, and carbs, sorry. So it showed the percentage your calories come from for those three things, and I was realizing, oh, I'm getting a little bit too much carbs and not enough protein, and maybe the fat's a little too high. So I started just sort of adjusting what I was eating again, and it all seemed very productive and very good. But I was continuing to get more and more frustrated about my plateau, and I'm working so hard on this, why can't I bust through? I did notice a half a pound change after one of the days that I ate really high protein and lower carb, and I was like, okay, I'm onto something. And I was getting really focused on what I was putting in my mouth, which I thought would be a good thing. Then yesterday I sort of hit an emotional breaking point when I realized I was sort of binging. I wasn't really binging in amount because I just can't physically eat a large amount. But I had gone into the pantry and gotten cheddar and sour cream potato chips, which I had bought for a recipe. You crumble them and put them on top of this chicken casserole. And I had put them way back in the corner so I'd forget about them and I wouldn't eat them. But I knew they were there. They hadn't even tempted me once in the 2 or 3 weeks I've had them. I found myself eating like half of what was left in that bag and eating dots, those gumdrop candies from our Halloween candy, and it was just like thing after thing after thing. As soon as I could fit it in my stomach, I was eating it. And it has been ages and ages and ages since I did anything like that. I've only had one time since surgery that I almost did something like that, and I caught it right away. It was really early on. And even before surgery, I wasn't doing things like that because of the therapy I've had and working on intuitive eating. So first I felt kind of shameful, and I didn't really want to talk about it to anyone. Here I am putting it in my video because I want to help anyone else who goes through the same thing I've been going through. I didn't want to tell anyone. You know, when we binge, we tend to want to hide that fact because nobody likes to feel out of control or feel like their actions are shameful, or maybe they, I don't know, did something wrong. And I was even laughing at myself because I'm sitting there thinking, here I want to break this plateau, eat better, exercise more, and what I'm doing is so counterproductive to that. Why am I doing that? So I actually ended up talking to my husband about it online while he was at work last night. And it was surprisingly hard for me to bring it up to him, which is so silly because I can tell him anything. But with something like this, you really don't want to admit it to anyone because you feel so bad about doing it. And I mean, amount-wise, I maybe took in a few hundred extra calories yesterday, which is so easy to get over. So it wasn't really about that. It was more the behaviors, the actions, and where my headspace has been because of this completely normal and expected plateau that I have no reason to be freaking out about, but I have been freaking out. So anyway, I talked to my husband, And he was incredibly supportive, said all the right things. He really helped me to get my head back in the right place. So I want to share with you some of the things he shared with me, as well as one of my breakthroughs that I had about it. And as I was talking to him about it, the first thing I realized, I only binge when I'm dieting, right? And I think the very fact that I was writing down, well, not writing, but entering my food on this application was enough to tell my brain I'm dieting, even though I wasn't actually restricting myself of anything. I was just trying to, focus on protein and focus on good things again. I wasn't actually really restricting anything, but my eating got worse with every single day that I was tracking it. Until yesterday when I just sort of flipped out and ate all that stuff. So what I realized when I was talking to my husband about it is that was a trigger for me. Writing down my food triggered my old dieting behaviors, my old dieting mindset. So the first thing I decided to do is stop tracking my food. And I know everybody's different, and different things work for them, and many people feel that tracking their food is an incredibly important thing to do. But I just had a very fast, hard lesson that for me it is not the right course of action. That was an unhealthy choice for me. I thought I was making a healthy choice, trying to do something better, but it was an unhealthy choice for me. Boy, I'm going to have to speed this up. It's getting long. So anyway, I talked to my husband about all this stuff, told him that I think I need to stop tracking my food and whatever. And he basically said to me, if you've ever heard KISS, keep it simple, stupid, except he was nice enough to change it to keep it simple, sweetie. He said, keep it simple. Go back to the basics. Follow the things they've told us. They didn't tell us we needed to count calories or track what we ate or write it down. They said, focus on protein first. Get at least 75% of your meal from protein and the rest from fruits and vegetables and whole grains. And get your exercise and be consistent. I mean, that's the only rules that I have. And it has worked for 90 pounds. So basically, my husband said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the problem is because of the plateau, I was sitting here thinking it was broken and I did need to fix it. And what did I need to change? Had I slacked off? Was I doing something wrong? Did I need to do something different? Exercise more, eat less, eat differently. There's nothing wrong. It's a normal plateau. I've lost 90 pounds in 5 months and I really have not had any sort of plateau until now. My body needs this time to adjust. At some point it has to recalibrate. At some point it has to rest. At some point it has to do whatever it has to do. I don't know what it's doing right now, but it needs to do it. And I think the problem is just, again, the fear, because every other time in my life I've hit a plateau. That plateau inevitably turned into me giving up and gaining all of my weight back. And I was so afraid of that happening that I just could not sit back, be calm, and let this plateau pass. Even if the plateau lasts a month or two, I'm so far ahead of where I need to be. I've already lost 60% of my excess weight in 5 months, which is what was expected of me in a year. And I just need to calm down. I don't think the plateau will last a month or two. Well, it's almost been a month, but I don't think it will last another month or two. It's just those 3 weeks, almost 4, have felt like an eternity. But not because I'm so anxious about where I'm going or losing it faster, just because I've had that fear that it's all over and I'm going to start gaining it all back or have to be frustrated fighting for every pound I lose. So I'm listening to my husband's advice, which is keep it simple and just focus on those basics. Focus on getting my protein. I'm also very into intuitive eating. That's how I started with all of this in therapy before surgery, is intuitive eating, and trying to refocus on that instead of tracking my food and looking at a pie graph and trying to logically think about what I need to eat and what to do correct. I just need to listen to my body again. It has obviously been working for me for these 5 months. Um, and today I feel incredibly free in my intuitive eating. I really do. I feel like I've eaten well and I've eaten what I felt like, and it's been satisfying and filling, and I'm content again. And that's what was really lacking these past few weeks, is my own contentment. Um, so I'm going back to those basics of what to focus on and get my exercise, which I have been. I've been getting 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 days a week of exercise, so I know there's nothing wrong there. I think I just need to be patient. And have a positive outlook. That's what my husband says too. Have a positive outlook on it. Realize the plateau is normal. Also, when I started out, I only weighed once a week on my weigh-in day, and somewhere along the way I started weighing every day, and for quite a while it was completely fine. Even when it would stay the same for a few days, I would be totally cool about it. But during this plateau, weighing every day has definitely been detrimental. It's like every day got me down more and more and more. I have decided to only weigh once a week again on my Thursdays, since my surgery was on a Thursday. So my new thing is going to be once a week weighing in and making my little update video, and that's it. I'm feeling really awesome about everything, and loving my body the way it is, being happy with where I am, doing things that are good for my body regardless of what the scale says they are. So it was all speaking to me at the right time and felt really great, and my outlook is so much better ever since him and I talked yesterday. And then we went and did a great workout last night, despite the fact that he got home from work almost 3 hours later than normal. We went and did a late workout, and it felt really good. And I woke up today feeling totally renewed and refreshed and ready to continue on my journey without freaking out. And of course, I have to add, since it is Thursday, I did weigh in today, and I'm down 1.5 pounds. So I can't remember since when. Since last Thursday. So I'm at 219.4 today, and that felt really, really good. I'm in a new decade in the teens, and it's kind of just the icing on the cake, because I honestly felt prepared for whatever it was going to say. Even if it had gone up, I was prepared and happy and feeling really good. So it's just kind of the icing on the cake that it actually went down, maybe because I stopped stressing. So that's really good. I better stop now. I'll put anything else I think of, as well as different links and stuff, in my blog post. I'll add my blog post link underneath this video, and I will be back next week with more. Thanks. Bye.